estimate as correctly or if not, so ano ba yung pinakamalaki? So this is used po sa transit marketing studies, especially dun sa mga logistics company. So let's have a sample problem using this. So given ang ating um, utility model o utility equation para kay auto and kay transit. So yung variables natin dito, we have the T1 or yung total travel time. Again, minutes, ang ating unit of time. And then kay T2, this is the excess time or yung waiting time natin. So again, excess time is either walking or yung waiting time natin. And then C is yung cost or in cents. So, pero this unit ng cost natin can be, so pwedeng we can convert this into dollars or peso. So, depende po sa pool. Then, yung cost po natin for autos, so usually is yung uh, presyo ng gas, presyo ng maintenance, so depende po. Okay, and then kay transit, additionally, yung kay auto, yung mga parking cost natin, so kasama po dun. And then kay transit is yung pamasahe, usually, di ba? So given yung equations natin for the logic model, and then yung characteristics daw, so yung total travel time for auto is 20 minutes, and then kay transit 30 minutes. Pagdating naman sa waiting time, so 8 minutes kay auto and then 6 minutes kay transit. And then yung cost naman for travel kay auto is 320 and for transit yung pamasahe is 100. And then we have this equation for the auto and for transit utilities. So yung E, so this is the constant E po sa ating calculators. So formula natin for auto is numerator natin is auto, and then for transit ang numerator natin is utility ng transit. Okay. So kay logic model, so this is just a direct substitution po. So utility for auto is negative 9.7. And then utility ni transit is negative 2.97. And then again, substitute lang po sa ating formula. So ang utility ng ating auto users is 0.12. And then for transit users, we have 99.88%. So again, this is a probability distribution. Laging 100% ang summation ng ating auto users and transit users. Nasundan po ba? Do you have any questions? Okay. So, kung wala pong questions, um, move on, move po tayo sa next topic natin. So, we're still in topic 4, yung classic 4-step model, but we are to discuss yung route or traffic assignment. So, this is the final step sa classic 4-step na forecasting. So, for traffic assignment, let's have this picture. So, kung yung origin natin is from this, so let's say may bahay tayo dito sa building natin. And then yung mode choice natin is using a private vehicle. And then yung destination natin is pumunta, say, to work right here sa A. So how would you choose your route given yung uh, different distance and utility ratio per routes? So meron kayong tatlong options. Uh, Teresa, so let's test this theory. Alin yung routes na pipiliin mo?
Good afternoon po. Siguro po ay yung route ng retrieve.
Bakit? Bakit route 3? So hindi ko need ng complicated answers. So, okay lang sabihin, ito lang po.
Parang ano po, parang kung ako po yung driver, eh parang siya po yung, ah, dahil yung pong 182 cars stop, parang same lang po kasi sila halos ng magiging daan ng Route 1, pero mas less po yung mga cars po dun sa route.
Okay. Another insight? Any volunteer po? Alin? Na, so, anong route yung pipiliin mo as a traveler?
Ah, well, since ayun nga, so parang yun yung mas urgent yung like
Sorry, unclear lang yung dating ng audio sa akin. Sige, tawag tayong iba. Ken more?
Ang same po nung kita sa route trading po. Since yun nga po makakaunti po yung carb, sabihin kakaunti yung traffic po na mararanasan ko po is less din po.
Okay. So later, i-discuss natin yung assumptions nyo. Okay? Pero pagdating po kay traffic assignment, so available yung data natin for the distances and then for traffic. So given yung utility ratio per route, so we will see bakit nga ba um, ano ba yung assumptions, bakit gano'n yung choice ng, travelers. Okay? And then, so purpose po natin for trip assignment, so we have to test yung alternative routes natin. And then, that is to establish yung mga short range priority programs natin sa traffic flow improvements. So, bakit short range priority programs kay trip assignment? Kasi this is more on analysis ng intersections and junctions natin. And then another purpose is for the analysis ng location ng transport facilities natin within a corridor. So, gaya nga dito, so this is more on from yung origin natin from the building to the destination A natin. So we have 3 available routes. And then it takes different distances and depende yung traffic sa mga intersections natin. Okay? And then another purpose is to provide input sa other planning tools such as the air quality studies. So yung air quality studies, so this is more on the environmental impact ng ating transportation modes. And then another purpose is to have detailed studies sa effects ng traffic. Okay. So as a traffic generator, so depende sa origin and destination natin. So kung ang trip purpose natin is for work, so madadaanan ba ang work ba natin is around the traffic zone or outside the traffic zone. Okay? And then we have these requirements para kay traffic assignment. So first is yung network geometry natin. So ano ba yung network geometry is more on the design ng ating road networks. So gaano ba kaliko yung mga dadaanan natin? Is it a straight path or we have to go through different intersections? Ilan yung dadaanan natin? Or and then this is related sa next na requirement, which is the network parameter on each link. So we have to think yung mga roads pa natin is two-way or may mga roads na dadaanan natin is one-way lang. Okay? And then dun sa one-way roads, gaano ba kalayo yung magiging merging or yung sama natin dun sa two-way streets. And then another requirement, so again, yung origin destination matrix natin. And then last is yung assignment rule na hypothesis. Okay, so sa hypothesis, this is more on the assumption and behavior ng travelers or ng drivers natin. And then, syempre, yung outputs natin is to load or yung traffic volumes natin sa each segment ng transportation natin. So, again, traffic volume or travel volumes. So, babalik tayo sa concept na traffic flow fundamentals natin. And then, sabi ko nga kanina, si traffic assignment is the final step natin sa transportation forecasting. So, that is to determine yung actual street and highway routes natin that will be used and yung number ng automobiles and public transits that can be expected sa each highway segments natin. So, this is more on the utility ng kung sa mode choice ang sinasolve lang natin is ilan yung proportion ng automobiles and transits pagdating po kay traffic assignment. Um, this is more on the application. Ilan ba yung automobiles and transit per uh, transport network or per highway network natin. So, since yung number ng trips nga natin by transit and auto will be the travel between the zones natin from the previous steps ng processes natin. So, this is, sabi ko nga, application na ito, si traffic assignment. So, kay traffic assignment, i-assign na natin yung mga trips na from the topics natin ng trip generation, trip distribution, and mode choice. So, sa each na origin destination natin can be assigned sa mga highway and transit routes natin. So, for private vehicles, so syempre yung mode, yung assignments or yung choice natin for highways is more direct than the uh, public vehicles. Kasi yung mga public vehicles natin, they follow certain transit routes. Okay? And then yung sum ng results for each segment sa system natin. So that is yung forecasting na natin ng average, daily, or yung peak hour traffic volumes natin. So that will occur usually sa urban transportation systems natin. And then to carry out yung traffic assignment natin, so kailangan natin yung data ng ilan ba yung trips that will be made from one zone to another. So this information is from our trip generation and trip distribution na phases. And then another data is yung available highways and transit routes between each zones. So dun nga sa sample natin kanina, so we have um, 3 routes na available para sa private vehicle. Another data is how long will it take to travel sa each route. So, 'di ba, for private vehicles, kung gagamit tayo ng usually Google Maps and Waze. So, yung sinasabi ni Maps is yung na direct way na, 'di ba? And then shortest path or shortest time na from your origin to destination. But then pagdating kay public transit, so they follow a certain route and then depende pa din sa traffic. And then that's how we know how will from your usual travel from your homes to school sa university. So how long does it take for you to travel dun sa mga usual na dinadaanan nyo? And then another data is yung decision rule or algorithm. So that explains how yung mga motorists and transit users natin. So this is more subjective kasi it is up to the travelers kung paano ba sila pumipili ng route nila. So kanina nga dun sa example natin, pinili nyo yung some of you is pinili yung route 3 kasi kakaunti lang yung dumadaan na travelers. But then so right here, so pinili nyo, some of you is pinili si Route 3 although kung titingnan natin yung line by ocular inspection, siya yung pinakamahaba, yung travel distance. And then some of you may choose yung Route 1 kasi pwedeng madaming dumadaan doon kasi siya yung pinaka-shortest yung travel time. But then kung madaming dumadaan doon, probably it will have traffic. And then kay Route 2, so this is more on the average side. Mas kakaunti compared kay Route 3 na mas madami yung dumadaan. So, siguro depende sa distance. So, again, yung decision rule is depende sa inyo as travelers. Okay? And then another data is about yung external trips natin. So, those are not considered dito sa ating kung sa trip generation, sa trip distribution steps natin, hindi natin kinonsider yung external trips or yung mga side trips kasi kay trip generation and distribution, more direct yung analysis natin. So, from home to work and work to home lang. So, pagdating kay traffic assignment, can include yung mga external trips or yung side trips na tinatawag natin. Naintindihan po? So, ayun. So, to summarize po, si trip generation and mode destination models, so they give yung total traffic demand between yung origin and destinations natin. And then yung traffic forecasting natin, so si traffic assignment is the final step. So, and then yung result ng route choice natin, this decision is what we call yung traffic flow. So, unit po natin for traffic flow is vehicle per hour. So, tanda po ba? Yung equation natin for traffic volume. And then, wait lang. Okay po. Naintindihan po ba yung concept ng traffic assignment? So, this is introductory. So, pagdating po kay traffic assignment, we have uh, two algorithms na ginagamit. So, usually, we have this the user equilibrium. So, yung assumption po kay user equilibrium, this is more on the static side, static traffic assignment. So, sa assumption po niya, so the travelers will select yung routes between your origin and destination based solely sa travel times. So, most people tend to select yung route with the shortest travel time. So, yung most important times of day natin to properly model this user equilibrium or the morning and evening peak periods. So during the morning and evening peak hours, so most of the trips we made for work related commutes for the working population. Pero sa atin as or you as a student, so ang schedule nyo is somewhat similar sa working population, pero since especially kung may mga morning schedules kayo, morning classes, di ba? And then for this type ng trip, so most people will choose yung direct routes. So papunta sa destinations nila. So what do we call this direct? So pag sinabi natin direct, this is more on the combination na ng travel time, travel cost, and then distance. Kasi 'di ba, they are usually correlated. So kapag for you to choose the direct route, so you have to consider yun nga So, alin ba, magpa-private vehicle ka ba or pa-public transit? Kung public transit, gaano katagal using the public transit, magkano yung fares? And then gaano ba kalayo yung, school from your home, dito ba? And then we have another assumption. So, assumption 2 natin is, that travelers know yung travel times that would be encountered on all available routes between the origin and destination. So, this is a strong assumption, sabi. But then, in reality, yung knowledge natin, regarding sa all the routes na dinadaanan natin is perfect, 'di ba? Pero yung commute natin kasi is typically habitual trips. So, it is not unreasonable to assume na yung, tayo as travelers or experienced and well-informed about the congestion levels dun sa different places natin sa networks. So, at least along the routes that that we might possibly choose. So, for example, yung mga galing Mabini, meron bang sino mga taga Mabini dito? Or galing Lipa? So, 'di ba sa Mabini usually traffic dito sa may San Pascual and then for Lipa, kapag, medyo late na kayo umalis, usually laging traffic dun sa may Lasal, traffic sa may Tambo. So, pero depende pa din sa araw, 'di ba? Even dito sa'tin sa Alangilan. So, 'di ba nagta-traffic dito sa may Lawas and then dito na sa approaching sa may Alangilan natin, sa'tin sa Alangilan. So, kapag Lunes laging traffic, yung traffic is umaabot hanggang dun sa may, um, dun sa may police station dito sa Alangilan. Pero kapag naman Tuesdays and Wednesdays or yung other days sa weekdays, so hindi naman siya, traffic lalo na kapag umaga. And then, so ayun. So depende sa, individual behavior natin. So, pero we can try to scale this up, yung assumption na 'to sa larger groups ng travelers. So, ano ba yung resulting state kapag yung large number ng travelers all wants to take yung fastest route papunta sa destinations nila. So, for example, if we have to choose between two routes, so sa first route is 15 minutes and then dun sa second route is, uh, sorry, again. So, we have two routes na available. So, kung sa first route is 10 minutes and then sa second route is 15 minutes. So, siyempre ang pipiliin natin is yung 10 minutes, 'di ba? But then, that is plausible kapag ikaw lang yung magta-travel dun sa 10 minutes na yun. Possible siya na 10 minutes ka lang from your origin papunta sa destination mo. Pero what if 100 kayo na magta-travel and then you all choose to do or to travel dun sa 10 minutes? So, 'di ba, according sa assumption na 'to yung, traveler, you as a traveler would be aware of this and then siyempre, some of the people would, switch from the first route papunta sa second route. And then because the first route would be, no longer faster. So, this process would be a cycle kasi as long as yung first route is slower, people would switch away to the second route. And then if too many people would switch papunta dun sa second route, o yung first, route naman yung magiging faster, 'di ba? So, people would again choose to switch back dun sa first route. So, naintindihan po ba yung assumption? So, sa assumption 1, yung traveler will select depende sa travel times lang. But then kay assumption 2, ah, alam mo yung, context or yung nature ng, dadaanan mo sa ruta na yun, and then depende sa'yo kung ano yung, dadaanan mo na routes. So this is depende sa congestion and sa travel times. Okey po? So with these assumptions po, yung theory natin for, user equilibrium, so this is more on a rule of choice. So the travelers will select yung route that minimizes their personal travel time between their destination and origin and their destination. So the user equilibrium is said to exist when individual travelers cannot improve their, travel times by unilaterally changing yung routes. So hindi lang, nakadepende kay travelers, so nakadepende rin yung, route choice mo sa context or nature ng, routes na available para sa'yo. And then we have this assumption ng user equilibrium kay, sabi ni Wardrop, 1952, so yung travel time daw between the specified origin and destination on all used route is the same and is less than or equal to the travel time that could be experienced by a traveler on any unused route. So yung assumption niya po kay, ng user equilibrium, so lahat daw ng routes na nagamit ng travelers is the same, pero dun sa routes na hindi nagamit ng travelers is less than yung travel time. Okey po. So let's have a sample problem for this. So pakibasa po ako, Sarah Jane Tomia.
Two routes connect a city and a suburb. During the peak hour morning commute, a total of 4,500 vehicles travel from the suburb to the city. Route 1 has a 60 miles per hour speed limit and is 6 miles in length. Route 2 is 3 miles in length with a 45 miles per hour speed limit. Studies show that the total travel time on Route 1 increases 2 minutes for every additional 500 vehicles added. Minutes of travel time on Route 2 increase with the square of the number of vehicles expressed in thousands of vehicles per hour. Determine user equilibrium travel times.
Okay, so thank you po. So i-highlight natin, yung mga data. So sabi, during the peak hour morning commute, so yung total vehicles daw is 4,500. And then kay Route 1, yung speed limit daw is 60 miles per hour. And then yung length ni Route 1 is 6 miles. And then kay Route 2, 3 miles yung length. And then yung speed limit is 45 miles per hour. And then yung increase daw sa total travel time kay, Route 1, so it increases by 2 minutes per every, 500 vehicles na gumagamit ng Route 1. But kay Route 2, yung increase daw po is the square ng numbers of vehicles. So yung gagamitin natin dito is all thousands of vehicles per hour. And then so i-determine daw natin yung user equilibrium. So given, the speed, the distance, and yung travel time, so usual, so yung formula natin is, so it represents yung velocity natin, 'di ba? Okay, so kunin natin yung travel times para kay Route 1. So dito, so, given yung speed and then yung distance. So, makukuha natin yung travel time by dividing the distance by speed, 'di ba? And then kailangan natin yung unit is minutes. And then yung travel time increase daw is every 2 minutes per 500 vehicles added. Pero again, we need to represent yung vehicle natin by thousands, uh, sabi dito, thousands of vehicle per hour. So this one, so times 2 lang natin siya para yung variable natin is a singular variable. Okay? So 2 minutes. So it is 4 minutes per 1,000 vehicle na added. So, equation natin for route 1. So yung time daw is 6 plus 4 x1. And then yung travel time naman for route 2. So we have 3 miles na distance over yung 45 miles per hour na speed times 60. Kasi again, kailangan natin is naka-minutes yung unit. And then yung travel time daw ng increase is by square ng number of vehicles. So yung equation natin for travel time kay route 2 is 4 plus x squared. And then sabi yung total number ng vehicles natin is 4,500. So yung demand natin is x1 plus x2 is 4,500. Nasundan po? So, simple algebra lang. Okay. So, to check yung flow daw po ng 4,500 na vehicle. So, we have to assume yung all or nothing na assumption. So, we have first to assume na lahat daw ng travelers is gagamitin si Route 1. So, we have to substitute yung traffic flow natin. Lahat is nasa Route 1. So, we have 24 minutes. And then, kung lahat, or kung walang gagamit kay Route 2, so yung travel time na lang is 4 minutes. But sa second is we have to assume na lahat ng traffic is nasa Route 2. And then, walang gumagamit ng Route 1. So, travel time natin for Route 1 is 6 minutes. And kay travel time natin kay Route 2 is 24.25 minutes. So, sa definition po ni Wardrop kanina ng user equilibrium, so, yung travel time daw natin sa lahat ng sa lahat ng route or equal. Pero yung first order ng business natin is to determine alin ba or ginamit ba natin yung both routes. Okay? And then, so sa figure natin dito, sa graph, so represented yung performance function. Okay? So we have to note na yung route to have a lower free flow na travel time and then any total origin and destination traffic flow is less than the Q or yung traffic volume natin. Okay? So tanda pa po ba from the traffic flow fundamentals natin ang traffic flow? So this results only na yung route 2 is being used. And then because yung travel time natin sa route 1 would be greater even if only one vehicle use it. So yung flow natin kay route 2 is would be congested. So yung travel time could be sufficiently high. So si route 1 yung became a viable alternative natin. But then kay Wardrop definition, So we have this notion ng equilibrium. So equilibrium, so equal travel time. So we have to equate yung travel time equation na nakuha natin kanina. Okay, and then yung so by equating right, so by using the formulas na nakuha natin kanina, so yung value natin for x2 so is equals to 2,899 vehicles, and then x1 is 1,601 vehicles. So kung substitute natin dun sa equations, so yung kung ang gagamit ng route 1 would be 1,601. So yung travel times would be 12.4 minutes. And then kung ang gagamit ng route 2 is 2,399 vehicles, that would also be 12.4 minutes. Okay. Nasundan po ba ang user equilibrium? So again, kay user equilibrium, we have depende dun sa, di ba, we have yung assumptions natin kanina. But then, pagdating kay Wardrop, we have to use all the routes, equal times, and then, yun na, for yung traffic assignment natin would be, ilan ba yung gagamit dun sa both routes na that would derive sa same travel time natin from your origin to destination. Okay po? Before po tayo mag-proceed sa next algorithm for traffic assignment, so let's take 10-minute, 15-minute break. Okay po? So, water break, CR break, or kung gusto nyo magmerienda, go lang. Okay, hello, balik na po tayo. Ready na po ba? Or inaantok na? This is CS time kasi. 1:00 hanggang 3:00. Okay, so sana hindi pa kayo inaantok. Okay, so next, algorithm po natin kay traffic assignment is the all or nothing. So this method po assigns all trips to those links that comprise the shortest time path between two zones. So, so in theory, uh, again, yung motorist or yung transit users natin will select yung quickest route between their origin and destination pairs. So we have these notations. So we have the nodes, and then this 2 represents the links, and then kung ang X is nakalagay dun sa line, so it is the link impedance value or yung travel time. So let's have this sample network for 3 building. So we have these nodes from A to P, and then we have these links, the grids, okay? And then yung lagay po dito na numbers is the travel times from node to nodes. Okay, from A to E, it takes 2 minutes. From A to B is 1 minute. So sa theory po, in other words, the travelers will always select yung route natin that minimum travel time. And then to determine kung anong route ba yon, so it is necessary to find yung shortest route natin from zones to origin from all the destination zones natin. So think of this like kung sa CMPM, ang minamapa natin is yung activities. So pagdating po dito sa traffic assignment, ang minamapa natin is yung actual na transportation routes. Okay ba? So paano ba natin gawin si all or nothing algorithm? So we have to start kung ang origin destination pair natin is A to P. So alin ba or ano ba yung travel natin or alin bang links or path yung madadaanan natin. Okay, so start tayo kay A. So lagi tayong mag-start sa 0. So kung sa CPM niyo po, ah, 'di ba ang other instructors ang ginagawa is 1 yung start. So pagdating puwede kasing gamitin is 0 na lang ay sa CPM. Pero again, balik tayo dito. Okay, so start tayo ng 0. So the nearest na destination from node A to is the node B and E. So we have to draw yung arrow. So yung travel time papunta mula kay A to E is 2 minutes, and then papunta kay B is 1 minute. And then we have to choose kung alin ba yung pinakamaliit minimum travel time. So from we have the node B. So and then yung nearest nodes is the C and F. So yung arrows natin goes like this. So it takes from A to C takes 4 minutes, and then papunta yung path ng ABF is 5 minutes. And then out of all these nodes, ang pinakamaliit na travel time is yung papunta kay E. So yung next iteration natin is yung kay node E. So pinakamalapit na nodes is I and F. So yung travel time mula A to I is 4 minutes, and then AEF is 4 minutes. So, pagdating ngayon kay node F, so mas maikli yung travel time using the AEF compared to ABF. So, ngayon, ang iiwanan natin is yung pinakamaliit yung travel time. Okay, so pwede natin tanggalin yung path for ABF. And then ngayon, so we have equal times dun sa end nodes natin. So si C, si F, and si I, it takes 4 minutes. So ngayon, yung analysis natin would be top to bottom. So kay node C, ang nearest nodes is the papunta kay J and papunta kay D. And then, yung travel time ng C to D is 6 minutes. So, galing po dito, 6 minutes. So, additional lang po, additional. So, yung nodes natin would be 6 minutes papunta kay G, and then papunta kay D is 10 minutes. So, again, yung path po natin, the origin destination pair is A to P. Okay? And then, yung available paths pa lang natin dito is si AB, that it takes 10 minutes. ABC, G is 6 minutes. Now, yung pinaka-ikli na travel times natin is we have to analyze nung kay F and kay I. So, kay F, so 6 minutes papunta kay G, and then it takes 7 minutes papunta kay J. And then next natin is si node I, so it takes 7 minutes papunta kay J, and then 6 minutes papunta kay M. And then next po natin, so ngayon may alternative routes. So it takes 7 minutes from both from this side, A, E, I, and then J. And then pagdating dito, wala naman siyang predecessor. So we have to choose, or rather yung path nito is A, E, F, and J. So it takes 7 minutes po. And then, bakit po naka-red yung arrows dito? Kasi pwede natin siyang tanggalin kasi same travel times. Okay po. Then next analysis po natin would be dito kay node G. So papunta kay H and papunta kay K. So it takes 8 minutes and 7 minutes respectively. Then next natin is si node M. So sabi ko nga yung analysis natin be kung saan yung minimum time. Okay po? So, punta kay node N, we have 10 minutes. So, kasi yung travel time, sabi dito is 4 minutes. And then, mula kay J, so, di ba, 7 minutes from this end nodes. We have N, node K, and node H. And then, dito, free end pa din siya, na 7 minutes both. So, we have from J to K, we have 10 minutes. And then, from J to N is 10 minutes also. Kasi sabi sa sample network natin, it takes 3 minutes both links. And then, next analysis natin could be this node. Okay po. So, laging from the lowest. Okay, so mula kay K papunta kay L, it takes 3 minutes. So yung total travel time natin would be 10 minutes. And then dun naman sa pababa, from K to O is 8 minutes. And then tanggalin natin yung alternative routes. Sorry. So bago tayo magtanggal ng alternative routes, so we have, let's analyze this one. So kay node H, so yung route um, path niya is papunta kay D and papunta kay L. So it takes 9 minutes papunta dito kay D. So bakit pataas yung um, naging arrow natin? So ang ina-analyze po natin kay traffic assignment is one way na path, and then it dapat walang mauulit na or walang mag-two-way na links dito. So yung links representation natin kung ang arrow is papunta dito, so that is one-way link. But then kung may arrow siya pabalik, so it represents yung two-way lanes natin. So in reality, uh, that is the representation po. Okay, so pag nakita po niyo po sa Google Maps na may dalawang magkasalubong na arrows, so it means two-way yung yung lanes. Okay po. Naintindihan po? Okay. So ngayon tanggalin natin yung mga alternative route. And then next analysis natin would be yung last. So mula kay O, so finally nakarating ka kay P with 12 minutes. And then this one, so yung route ng O to N is 12 minutes, but then yung direction nga natin is one way, or unless ang destination natin is A to N, so pwede niyang gamitin itong link na to. Then ang origin destination nga natin is A to P, so tanggalin natin si 12. And then this is our final network. So dito, so again, we have from node O na 12 minutes, pero yung galing dito sa L is 9 minutes plus 1 minute. Yung travel time ng L to P is 10 minutes. So mas piliin natin is sa 10 minutes. So again, ang pinipili natin is yung lowest or yung shortest time. Okay po? So we have this as the summary. So considering yung 1 OD pair natin, so all trips are assigned sa shortest path from your origin to destination. And then after the trips are loaded sa network, yung LOS natin ng road links sa networks may change. So LOS is the level of service. So from the user equilibrium na assumption, so sabi ko nga kanina, if alam ni traveler na it takes 10 minutes to sa route 1 and 15 minutes sa route 2. So syempre kung individual traveler ka lang, ang gagamitin mo is si route 1. Pero kung alam mo na madaming magta-travel kay route 1, so mas preferable na pumunta ka kay route 2. Okay po? And then basic steps natin to conduct this previous all or nothing assignment. So find yung minimum path from your origin destination. So it it is, I don't know how to pronounce this also, pero ang tawag po sa kanya talaga or in other terms is this one or Moore's algorithm. So it can be Moore's algorithm or all or nothing algorithm. Kayong bahala kung anong gusto niyong itawag. And then second step po is to assign all trips Tij to the minimum path. So Tij, this is time. Assign all trips on your time from your origin to destination sa minimum. And then repeat yung steps 1 and 2 ating OD pairs. So advantage po ni all or nothing algorithm. So this is simple, inexpensive, and easy to understand. But then yung assumption po niya as this yung disadvantage is yung assumption po ng lahat ng traffic will travel sa shortest time. And then, pero in reality, um, sorry. So, yung disadvantage nga po, it does not represent yung uh, realistic na flow patterns ng ating traffic. So, pagdating po kasi kay traffic assignment, we have this subtopics pa ng static traffic assignment and dynamic traffic assignment. So, kay static traffic assignment, so predetermined lahat ng measurable variables natin. But then, pagdating kay dynamic traffic assignment, so it uh, considers na yung real-time na congestion. Okay. And then, for you to understand more yung Moore's algorithm, so we have this video. Pero, linay ko siya kanina sa other section. Wala daw audio. And then, in-upload ko na lang siya sa ating Google Classroom. So, dun niyo na lang po panoodin. Do you have any questions po regarding the trip or the traffic assignment? Okay. So, naintindihan ko. So, walang questions? Yes po. Magdan lang.
May question lang po sa pangalawang pong sample is sa sample po nung may 4,500 vehicles.
Wait lang. Dito po?
Yes po, pero yung mismo na po pong PPT po, yung may table po.
Okay.
Opo. Nakalagay po kasi dito po kasi nakikita dito, nakalagay po sa table is 2 minutes per 500. Pero 4 minutes po itong nasa ano, nasa T1.
Okay. So, dun po kasi sa worded problem natin. So, nakalagay po kasi dito. So, we have to express so, sabi we have to express yung in thousand of vehicles per hour. So, pagdating po dito, kasi yung travel time increase natin is 2 minutes per 500 vehicles added. So, kung ilalagay natin siya sa equations na 2 minutes dito per 500 vehicles, yung representation natin ng demand dito sa x1 would be x over 2. Pero since ang ginawa natin is per 1,000 na, so times 2 na lang po natin ito, kaya naging 4 minutes per 1,000 vehicle. Clear na po? Di po. So, sabi dito, sa worded problem, thousands of vehicle per hour. Okay na po.
Thanks po. Thank you po.
Any other questions po? And then, pagdating po dito, sa travel times, so di ba kanina nakuha natin yung equations. So, this equations for travel times kay route 1 and route 2. So, paano po ba nakuha si 24 minutes and 6 minutes? So, i-substitute lang po dito sina 4.5 and si 0. So, bakit po 4.5? So, again, naka thousands vehicle per hour po tayo. Okay. Si 0 lang po natin siya dun sa previous equations long times natin. Okay po. So, may questions po? So, that's it po for our mode choice and traffic assignment. So, before po tayo mag-end ng class, so please open your cameras for our attendance. Okay. Yes po.
Ma'am, may question lang po dun sa in-upload niyo po. Ano po yung sa traffic impact assessment po?
So, yung traffic impact assessment po, so that would be your final requirement. So, yung traffic impact assessment naman po is, i-discuss pa po natin yung laman. It has 7 chapters pero that is more on background study and then tra- traffic conditions and proposed solution. So, di ba may may pinanood tayo before na intersections. So you have to propose sums for said intersections. Pero instead na intersections, ang gagawin natin is you have to find in development. So, pwede nyo pong gamitin yung previous or going thesis ng seniors, or you can use Will James Devens, or pwede rin gumamit ng mga going or under construction na development. So, ano yung movements? It can be a shopping mall or commercial building. Okay po. So, i-discuss pa naman natin yung impact assessment. Pero for now, pwede po muna for that. So, for 10 groups, sorry, 9 or 10 members per group. Okay po? Other questions? Okay. So, kung wala na pong questions, smile. Smile po in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thank you po. So, regarding po sa inyong midterms, kung meron mang nabababaan sa kanilang scores, so meron pa po tayong mga activities. You still have your final exam. We still have your final requirement to pull up your grades. Okay po? So, wag po munang magmukmok. Okay? Wag po munang masad kasi we still have activities to do. Okay, so that's it for today.